Moadim L'Simcha. Once again, a good moed. Today is the fourth day of Chol HaMoed Pesach. And today we're going to conclude a discussion, and hopefully we won't need to discuss it because we'll be able to experience, but a discussion about whether the idea of Moshiach is a crazy one. So far in the first video we discussed that Moshiach is a person, and we discussed his resume. In the second video, we discussed his job description. What is it that he's meant to accomplish in this world? And today we're going to discuss what the world will look like during his reign, during his era. Now this is a very complicated part of the discussion, and considering we're only going to dedicate 5 minutes or so, it is clear that we are not going to be able to understand it completely. And our main source, once again, is Maimonides, is Rambam, in his Mishnah Torah. And we're going to the very end of Mishnah Torah, Hilchos Melachim Milchamos, the laws of kings and their wars. And we're going now to chapter 12. It's important to note that Rambam himself, Maimonides himself, has contradictory opinions in different works that he's written. Most notably, Igeret Techiyat HaMeitim, Igeres Techiyas HaMeisim, the letter that he wrote describing the resurrection of the dead, versus what's found here in Halacha, in Jewish law, in his Yad HaChazaka. So for today's discussion, we're simply going to state that what we find here is the bare minimum of what a Jew must believe will happen in the times of Moshiach. And there certainly is room, even within this text, to see that there are possibilities for many more things, many more miraculous things to occur in Moshiach's era, even if they're not described here. Al Ya'aleh al-Lev al-Halev Shebemosa Mashiach Yivtal Davar Miminhagot Shel Ha'olam. Do not allow it to arise in your heart that during the era of Mashiach anything will be changed about the nature of this world. O yihi yesham chidush b'ma'aseh bereishis, or that there will be any novelty in the ways of nature. Ella, rather, olam kiminhago halech, the world will continue to go according to its nature. Now, if you're familiar at all with either the teachings of the sages, or even more so the words of the prophets, you'll find that there's many things that contradict this statement that Rambam makes. For example, Rambam himself concedes, V'zeh shenemar b'Yeshaya, this which is written in Isaiah chapter 11, verse 6, V'garze evim keves, v'namer im gedi yirbatz, and a wolf shall dwell together with a sheep, and a weasel with a baby goat. Mashal v'chida, says Rambam, these are all allegories. So it's interesting that we're going to soon see that there are some allegories which the Rambam does not explain, and there are others which he explains the meaning of the allegory. And you'll see why that's so interesting in a moment. So what is this an allegory for? The idea that a wolf will dwell together with a lamb. Inyan hadavar sheyihiyu Yisrael yoshvim levetach im rishe ha'olam hameshulim kize'ev v'nemer, that the Jewish people will dwell in security, even though there are evil people around them who rule as a um, wolf or as a weasel, both of which certainly refer to dishonesty, deceit, and violence. We're going to skip a little bit, and we're going to say V'chein kol kayotza be'elu advar maksuvim be'inyan Mashiach. Likewise, all of the other things which are written, and my assumption, I don't know if I'm correct, but when he says written, would mean from the prophets regarding Mashiach, Mishalimheim, they are all allegories. If they're all allegories, then what are we meant to do with it? How are we meant to understand them? So he says quite simply, when Mashiach will come, then we will understand exactly what the allegory is meant to teach us. And what is hidden in what they are saying. And he continues on this vein in Halacha Beis, and he explains all different verses and what the allegories mean. But ultimately, he's left with a concept, once again, in the second halacha, the second law. Lo yeda adam heyachiyu ad sheyu. We have no idea, no man knows how it's going to be until it happens. Shedvarim stumim heim eitz al hanavim, because even among the prophets who prophesied about them, they are very much hidden. Gam hachachamim ein lahem kabbalah. Likewise, the sages of the Talmud don't have exact traditions of the meanings of each of these allegories, and it's for that reason, says Rambam, that you'll find many differences of opinion in the Talmud itself on how to explain each of these allegorical passages in the prophets. What we do know is how he concludes at the end, in the in Halacha Hey, the fifth law, Ba'osu azman lo yihi hasham lo ra'av v'lo milchama. What there certainly will not be is there will no longer be any hunger, and there will no longer be any war. V'lo kina v'sacharus, as well as there will no longer be any jealousy. Why not? Shahatova tiyeh mushpa'as harba, because there will be a plenty of goodness throughout the entire world. V'chol ha'ma'adanim mitzuyim ka'afar, and all of the delicacies will be found as dust, meaning to say it will be plentiful. Perhaps one can argue Amazon. And with this we conclude, V'lo yihi ye'esek kol ha'olam elo l'da'as es Hashem bilvad, and the entire striving of the world will be towards understanding godliness. And the world will be full of wisdom and wise people, and by wise people we mean specifically people who understand God and His ways. V'yodim dvarim hasitumim ha'amukim, and they will then become knowledgeable and aware of all of the hidden mysteries of the world. V'yasigu da'az boram k'fi koach ha'adam, and they will understand God to the ultimate ability of mankind, even though mankind typically is very limited in their understanding of the infinite, and certainly the creator of the infinite, which is himself the ultimate of infinity. Nonetheless, at that time, we will understand him much better than we do today, to the ultimate of our ability. Shenemar, as it is written in Isaiah once again, Ki mala ha'aretz deya as Hashem, that the world will be full of the knowledge of Hashem, kamayim layam mechasim, like the waters of the ocean which cover over the items which are in the ocean. So to conclude, I would certainly say that it is not entirely clear about all of what the world will look like and what the world will be like when Moshiach comes. But what is certainly clear is that there will no longer be war, there will no longer be hunger, and there will no longer be animosity and jealousy between people. We can certainly say as well that even though the Rambam does not require one to believe in any miraculous realities that will occur when Mashiach comes, he certainly leaves this possibility open. Let us hope and pray that we will not need to discuss the Mashiach any longer, because he will be among us very, very soon, and we should be able to celebrate the last days of Pesach in the Beit HaMikdash that he will build, in the reconstructed temple that he will rebuild, and may that day be speedy in our days, and more specifically today, so that we can conclude our Pesach, the season of our redemption, in the Beit HaMikdash, with the coming of Mashiach, b'mher v'yameinu, amen. And once again, also just to conclude, is our original question is the concept of Mashiach a crazy one? I believe that based on everything we learned from Rambam, from Maimonides, we can certainly say that it's a reality that is achievable, a reality that we should attempt to imagine, and a reality that we can make a reality very, very soon by doing more mitzvot, studying more Torah, bringing more light and joy and kindness in the world. And of course, through our efforts, we will be able to achieve this reality very, very soon.